right now regarding this. Earlier on, there was a tweet from the desk of our president, President Muhammadu Buhari. There was a series of tweets, but I decided to respond to this particular one. And did you see the tweet, Ada?
Which I think I
It's,
saw a lot of take from him
yeah,
today.
it was
What is
regarding
it
the
exactly?
pump price of petrol.
Okay.
He said, further afield, Egypt charges 211 naira per liter, while Saudi Arabia charges 168 naira per liter. It makes no sense for oil to be cheaper in Nigeria than in South Africa. And he is right. Don't you think so?
Daddy freeze. I don't think so.
Why don't you think so? I'm waiting.
We give our oil to people, so why should ours be more expensive?
We don't give our oil to people, though. Where did you get that from?
Daddy freeze. We are the giants of Africa, and we actually do have oil in this country.
Okay, but I don't get the we give our oil to people. Where's that?
Yeah, we don't actually anymore.
Mm,
We are now broke, but
mm.
hey, that's not a yardstick for us to now increase the price. Come on.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay. You know what? I might want to read that tweet again. Maybe people would understand. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, happy independence to everybody out there. What is your take? The president spoke about the price of petrol in Nigeria with regards to the price of petrol in a place like Saudi Arabia. And I'm glad that he referenced Saudi Arabia. Now, in all fairness, Saudi Arabia has a lot more oil than Nigeria. Saudi Arabia probably has one of the largest oil deposits in the whole world. We don't have that much oil. I'm sure you're amazed to find out, Abby.
I know we don't have any more.
No, we do, but compared to Kuwait and Iraq
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, uh, we don't have that much oil. We don't even have as much oil as Libya has in Africa. I stand corrected, and if there's anybody out there who has a superior argument, please bring it forward. So when I saw this tweet, I understood. Hmm, we have no right, or it makes no sense to sell petrol cheaper than Saudi Arabia that has more fuel. And here is what I think regarding this particular issue. And like I said, I stand corrected. If the fuel prices in Saudi, or if the amount of oil Saudi Arabia has far supersedes the one we have, we shouldn't price our oil, our refined oil, cheaper than in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, oil goes for about 168 naira equivalent for 1 liter. And now our pump price is about 160 naira per liter. But one thing everybody failed to take into consideration is the minimum wage in Saudi Arabia. The minimum wage in Saudi Arabia is, according to sources online, about 800 US dollars. minimum wage in the government sector, about 800 US dollars. If you were to convert that into naira, you would have between 380 or 320 naira, 20,000 naira a month, depending on if you're using the prevailing bank rates or if you're using the black market rates. If you're using the black market rates, we're talking about 400,000 naira a month, thereabout. If we're using the official rates, we're talking about 320 naira a month. Now, if I, for instance, go to work in Saudi Arabia and they pay me minimum government wage of $800 a month, and I send that $100 to my family in Nigeria, I send that to my wife in Nigeria, she's not going to go and change it according to bank rate. She's going to change it black market rate. Do you understand? So in a country like Nigeria, where the minimum wage is 30,000 naira, is it okay for us to compare the price oil is being sold for, to a country where the minimum wage is close to 400,000 naira a month? We've got to be able to, we've got to have a holistic picture. I understand totally. Refined oil in Nigeria has no business being sold for less than 168 naira a liter. I'm 100% on that. But why are we selling at less than that? Because the entire economic structure of the country needs an overhaul, and it would put the people on even more hardship if we were, do you understand, to enforce a reasonable price. I'll give you an example. Imagine you have a curfew for your children at home, and the curfew is 7 o'clock. Now, you send your child to go and work in Ikeja, and the job you sent your child to go and do in Ikeja closes at 5, and you live in Lekki. Yes, you should enforce the curfew like your neighbors enforce the curfew, but you have to take certain things into consideration. Your neighbor's son goes to play down the road, 10 minutes walking distance from the house, in an open field, goes to play football. So if your neighbor's son is not home by 7 o'clock, all he needs to do is finish playing football by 6:45 or 6:50 and start walking home. Meanwhile, your child needs 2 hours to commute from Ikeja to your house. Yes, it's right to have a curfew, but can you compare someone who has to stroll home to someone who has to go by bus, train, everything they have to beat that same curfew? So we need to think of everything, especially the poor who have really not much else except the dwindling value of their income. Let me also ask this question. In Saudi Arabia, are they struggling to provide electricity? Saudi Arabia is one of the safest places on earth. You literally leave $1 million in a bag on the floor and go to the street to pray, and come back and you not meet $900,999.99 when you come back. So Saudi Arabia is safe compared to Nigeria, very safe. You don't have the issues we face with ritualists and militants and all those things. No, they have some strict Muslim laws, but if you obey them, you'll be all right. Police in Saudi Arabia will not start beating you on the street asking you that they want to check your phone. Like they were doing to one young man that I saw the video yesterday, literally beating the guy because he refused to open his phone. Then also in Saudi Arabia, every household does not have a generator. So all these things need to be put into consideration before we can now say, okay, we need to increase. Yes, we need to, but think about the suffering of the people at this time. I know our oil is undervalued, but what else do the people have? It is that same petrol they will put inside their Tiger generator. I better pass my generator that they'll be dragging the way they drag themselves on Twitter. It is that same petrol they will put inside their buses that carry them without air conditioning in the hot sun. So Ada, I hand over to you. What are your thoughts? Mine is more of a compassionate appeal to our president. Yes, it makes sense to sell oil at a higher price. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
At a higher price?
Yes. Yes. However, how much money is the average Nigerian earning to be able to hit with let me give you an example. Imagine you're earning $100,000 a month.
Okay.
And then food prices increased from a monthly $10,000 to $15,000. You're not going to feel it. But if you're earning $20,000 and before you used to spend half of your salary on food, and all of a sudden now you need to add another 1/4 of your salary, it would hit you very hard. So as Nigeria is turning 60, let it be that we're turning 60, not that we're retiring as a country at 60. Let it be that this is the beginning of good things to come. This is the foundation of a Nigeria that will be 300 years and be better off than the United States is today. It's not about reducing the price of petrol. It's about making sure there's power, making sure Nigeria is safe for Nigerians, making sure Nigeria is safe for foreign investors, making sure that the Nigerian people are happy. Then you can increase pump price to 200 naira self. If they want to complain, their neighbors will be telling them that, look, are you not making more than what you're making? If minimum wage in Nigeria were 100,000 naira a month, I don't see any reason why government cannot sell fuel at 250 naira a liter. There's absolutely no reason. If the salary of the poorest paid person, I'll give you an example. The cheapest salary in Romania is about 400 euro. That is the salary of a maid or a cleaner. It's 400 euro. 400 euro is about 160,000 naira a month. Now, the Romanian people have free healthcare service. By free healthcare service, I mean even your dentist is free. It's not insurance, it's just government. Let me give you an example. Because Romania is underpopulated, they encourage people to have children. No, Romania was 18 million in 1960. 60 years later, they are 19 million, just so you understand. And they have land mass. Meanwhile, in 1960, Nigeria was 45 million. Today, we are 205 million. So, to give birth in Romania is not only free, their hospitals are like hotels. Now, a woman gets 2 years maternity leave to raise a child. They don't have population, so they value their children. So let me give you an example. Imagine as you are working in Nigeria Info, your salary is 200,000 naira a month. If you give birth, you are entitled to take 2 years leave. Out of which, let me tell you how good it is. Out of the 200,000 naira you're being paid a month, your company is mandated to pay 40%. 40% of 200,000 naira is 80,000 naira. Then the government is going to substitute the remaining 40%. So you are going to stay at home for 2 years without doing any work, and you'll be collecting 160,000 naira, 80,000 from your company, and the other 80,000 from the government. Now, those people can come and say, oh, of course we can't try that in Nigeria because Nigerians normally like having children. So we are trying to cut down we are overpopulated. So nobody needs to be encouraged to have more children at this stage. Having children is all our parents did and our grandparents. It's like that's what they came to the world to do. They read one portion of the Bible that says, go into the world and multiply, be fruitful and multiply. And they obeyed it. Forgetting that when God was talking to Adam, there were supposedly 2 people on earth. And when God was talking to Noah, there were like 6 people on earth after the flood had wiped everybody away. So the contract God had with Adam and Noah when the world was empty is not the same contract he has with us Nigerians. So, bonbon. So it's just funny, but hey, it is what it is. That's my take. Happy Independence Day, Nigeria. Happy birthday, Nigeria Info. I love Nigeria Info. And make sure you guys listen to us, 99.3 Nigeria Info. And Ada is going to be having her chat station. Awesome, awesome opportunity for you to spend good time with her. Yup.
Okay, thank you so much, Daddy Chris. It's been an awesome show, and I just hope that someday this place eventually do pass so we can talk about it. But hey, change begins with you and I. We can only change this country when we start doing things right.
Absolutely. So, guys, make sure you listen to 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's the chat station with the blessed one, Omweleko herself, Omokotoleko. Ladies and gentlemen, small but mighty, Ada Blessing.
Good day.
Good night.
Okay.
All right, guys. Wonderful it is hanging out with you all. Happy Independence, Nigeria. We as Nigerians need to stand up for Nigeria. If you're a Nigerian and you're proud to be a Nigerian, this is the moment where you speak up. Like I said, I'm not one of the people blaming the government. No. Because I wrote an article earlier on. I said, Happy Independence, Nigeria. How do we fix the poverty issue? This has become the bane of our existence. This is not an opportunity to blame the government like we all love to. Instead, let's look inwards into the possibility of realigning our mindsets pertaining to religion, politics, trade, education, power generation, infrastructure, industrialization, and modernization. South Korea got her independence in 1957, only 3 years before we did, while Singapore got her independence in 1965, 5 whole years after we did. The UAE did not get her independence until 11 years after we got ours. Now look at these nations and look at us. The time to rethink our approach with regards to how we handle our affairs is now. Today should not be a day of jubilation, rather of sober reflection. Let's fix Nigeria. We can celebrate later. It amazes me that religion is still an issue in Nigeria today. We have more religious houses than almost any other country on earth, save for Afghanistan, and it hasn't done us any good. Production, education, quality education. You see, there's education available in Nigeria, good education available, but is it available to the poor? In a country like Romania, every citizen gets free government education. There are no private secondary or primary schools. In Rwanda, private secondary schools and private primary schools are closing because they cannot compete with what the government is giving. It's like, imagine the government gives you a certain standard, and then the private sector where you have to pay for cannot even meet the government standard. Will you carry your children and go and put in private? Of course you carry your children and put in government school. These are the things Nigeria needs to work on. Only in an underdeveloped nation would religious leaders be powerful. Do you think there's any pastor in the UK or the US that can dictate to the government? Let's leave the US. They have Donald Trump hopping up and down like a grasshopper. Germany. You think the highest pastor in Germany has a say in the government? So as long as we keep mixing religion with politics, we'll keep getting the concussion rice that we eat for dinner called Nigeria. As long as we keep mixing religion and politics. Because you see, religion does not fund development. Religion thrives on underdevelopment. Because the more developed you are, the less you need to buy an illusion of hope. If you study Marxism, Karl Marx said something. He said, religion is the illusion of hope. It's the, let me give you the 100% definition. Just put Karl Marx, Marx is spelled M-A-R-X, on religion. Just put that in, you'll see it. It says, religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature. The heart of a heartless world and the soul of a soulless condition. It is the opium of the people. The abolition of religion as the illusory happiness of the people is demand for their real happiness. Abolition of religion, that is destroying religion as the hope of the people, is the demand to give real hope instead of an illusion of hope. I'll give you this example. If you're sick, you go to the hospital. Forget what religious houses are telling you. Doctors and medical science heal more people every day. Every single day, every hour, than Christ and the disciples did in the entire Bible. Malaria used to be a killer disease. Smallpox used to be a death sentence. All these things have been, smallpox totally eradicated by medical science. Malaria now only kills those who cannot afford the medication, and one or two rare cases. So the real hope of the people lies in hospitals, lies in schools, lies in factories. There's a church, a cathedral down the road from my house. Beside the cathedral was a former one of these car companies where they assemble cars and sell cars. The church got the property and converted it into a car park. It's not even the church. They converted it to where people park their cars to go across or to go down the road to the adjacent building and pray for jobs. Somewhere that used to cater to people's work has now been bought over by a church and used as a car park for those who are coming there to pray for jobs so they can have a parking space. If that makes sense to you, it doesn't make sense to me. You see, religion is the illusory hope of the people. And abolishing religion as the illusory hope demands the provision of real hope. Now, real hope is schools and hospitals not available to the select people, but available to everybody. Safety, enterprise, trade. Once you can provide all these things, you don't need to pray for them anymore. Now, those who are marketing religion are the merchants of this illusion of hope or this illusory hope. They're selling hope to you because they're selling an illusion of hope to you because you don't have real hope. And the moment real hope is provided, you will not need the illusion. A friend of mine used to love Ferraris. Growing up as a kid, he had Ferrari posters all over his room. He ran into some, as he was growing, he now had a garage, and in the garage he parked a Mercedes-Benz. And on the wall, he put a picture of his Ferrari, his dream Ferrari. The day he was finally able to buy that Ferrari, as the truck, because it was in the US, as the truck was offloading the Ferrari and he was receiving the car to drive it into his garage, he went to the wall and tore off the picture. And I was like, why are you tearing off the picture? He said, I have the real car now. I don't need the picture anymore. That picture of that Ferrari on the wall signifies religion. The real Ferrari in the garage is education, modernization, industrialization, infrastructure, power generation. The moment you have those, you don't need to park a Mercedes-Benz in your garage and have the picture of a Ferrari on your wall because you already have the Ferrari in the garage. And the moment you begin to buy the real cars, you will stop shopping for posters. Because it does not make sense for you to put the poster of a Ferrari in your parlor when you can actually park the real car inside your parlor if you choose. I don't know if I'm making sense to you guys. This is something that needs to be addressed. And as long as religion is that Ferrari poster on the wall, you're not going to get the real thing. Because those selling posters are going to do everything they can to discourage you from getting the real thing, so you can continue buying their posters. Because they know that the moment you get the real thing, what do you need a poster for? That is why people who cast and bind, kabash all day and all night, the moment they leave the shores of Nigeria, they realize that they don't have to pray every morning before they go out. I'm not saying it's wrong to pray every morning before you go out. I am saying, are you praying for the right things? You're afraid to go out because it's so uncertain. In a developed nation, there's some level of certainty. And in the case of uncertainty, the government is there to take care of its citizens. And that is where I want to draw the curtain today. No nation on the face of the earth, on the surface of the earth, became a progressive, successful nation because they prayed. None. I was reading about Singapore the other day. In 1965, when they got their independence, the country was ravaged by poverty. The government invested heavily on its educational sector, infrastructure, development, industrialization, modernization. Only 25 years later, look at someone beside you, I'll tell them 25 years later. Only 25 years later, Singapore was the most prosperous nation in Asia except Japan. Today, the Singaporean passport is the strongest passport in the world except for the Japanese passport. Let me get this to you as a fact. I know I studied this a few years ago. World's strongest passport. The most powerful passports in the world. Can you guys see it? I wish I could post it. Number 1, Japan, 191 destinations. Number 2, Singapore, 190 destinations. Okay, Japan is 191, Singapore is 190. Number 3, a tie, South Korea, Germany, 189 destinations. Number 4, Italy, Finland, Spain, Luxembourg, 188 destinations. Number 5, Denmark, Austria, 187 destinations. Number 6, Sweden, France, Portugal, Netherlands, Ireland, 186 destinations. Number 7, Switzerland, USA, United Kingdom, Norway, Belgium, 185 destinations. Number 6, Greece, New Zealand, Malta, Czech Republic, 184 destinations. Number 9, Canada, 183 destinations. And number 10, Hungary, 182 destinations. So, a Singaporean passport, the passport of a country that was poor in 1965, is more powerful than the German, Italian, Danish, Swedish, French, Dutch, Swiss, US, UK, Norway, Belgium, Greece, Canada, Hungary, Ireland, a country that was poor at a time when Nigeria was rich, because by 1960, Nigeria was a powerful nation. We gained our independence not in poverty, but into wealth. And an oil boom followed. But by 1965, we were already planning our division. While Singapore began to rise, we began to fall because we could not stay together. We had to be divided by our own mentality. Someone said Nigeria has no business being together. If we had been together as a nation, we will be where Singapore is today. We're too busy fighting one another for power and primal things. The world's third most powerful country, South Korea, got their independence 3 years before us. So these are our classmates. Person will use 3 years senior you, and person will use 5 years junior you. You are all in the same age grade. What happened to us? This is a question we all need to ask one another. Currently, Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. We have 51%. There are more people in extreme poverty in Nigeria than the people who are not in extreme poverty. I'm not talking about poverty here. I'm talking about extreme poverty. Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world, with more people in extreme poverty than those who are not in extreme poverty. Because according to worldpoverty.io, 51% of our population is in extreme poverty. Yet we have 5 churches on every street. You ask the church people, they will tell you, is it us or the government? Who is the government? Who is the church? At what point did religion separate itself from politics? Nigeria has more poverty than China and India combined, plus extra few million people. India has about 30 million people in extreme poverty. China has thereabout 30, 40 million. Combined, at worst case scenario, they have about 80 million people in extreme poverty. Only Nigeria has 105 million. Now, the combined population of India and China is nearly 3 billion, about 2.7 billion. 10% of the combined population of China and India is 270 million. Nigeria has about 205 million, meaning we are less than 10% of the population of India and China, but we have more than 100% their extreme poverty. Those statistics are alarming. Those statistics are scary. How can we be less than 10%? We're about 9% of their population, but we have more than 100% of their extreme poverty. Think about it. For Nigeria to grow, we all need to have a readjustment, a realignment of our value system. And we're not going anywhere as long as we continue to act and think the way we're doing. So this is as far as I can go today. I hope this is a wake-up call for us all. Some people don't realize how bad things are. Maybe it's an opportunity for us to all wake up. It's not the government's fault. It's all of us. And it's not about demonstrating and protesting. It's about coming together. Because if you protest and you remove this government, the next government out is the same thing. It's always going to be the same. People need to come together and solve the problems of this country. We need to love one another. Without love, we're wasting our time. The seeds of division are fostered and funded by religion and tribalism. Everybody wants their tribe to be better. What is it with a tribe? What is it with a tribe? Humanity over tribe, humanity over religion. I cannot overemphasize this. We must start with love. If we are not ready to love one another, we have no business thinking that we're going to survive. Secondly, let us fix this country. All of people running abroad, Nigeria, I'm tired of that country. Yeah, I'm gone. I'm going. If everybody goes and goes, who's going to be left to fix the mess we created? So that's the solution right there. Love and a mindset reorientation. As long as your mindset is the way it is now, you're not going anywhere. Because you keep moaning and groaning and missing the opportunities. The government also needs to work with the people. The government needs to listen to the people. The government needs to be transparent to the people. The government needs to communicate with the people. And the government needs to put the people first. If these things are met, we will have hope. Thank you very much, everyone, and God bless you. I love Nigeria. I love you all, and I can only hope for the best. I'm Daddy Freeze, and I say goodbye and good night. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.